If you've heard of vibe coding, then you already know it is essentially just using natural language text prompts to generate a actual functioning application. Vibe designing actually sounds very similar when I describe it, right? It is also using natural language text prompts in addition to kind of other multimodal input types that we'll talk about to create things like high fidelity prototypes. So if you're at this point saying those sound pretty similar, you'd be right to assume that. The key distinction, though, really lies in kind of two parts. The first one is multimodality. So typically vibe coding, it is multimodal, but the use case is oftentimes going to lend itself best to just text prompts. What do I mean by that? Well, you could start with a screenshot, but you might not rely on those in the long run. You're going to continue to use text prompts to kind of manipulate what you're generating on the screen. And that makes total sense. In contrast, vibe designing really relies heavily on the multimodality inputs. Text, text plus image, text plus diagram, text plus XYZ. And the reason for that is oftentimes that things that are inherently aesthetic, what we're trying to convey, require images more than they require text at times. So you can imagine if you're trying to describe a specific aesthetic that you're looking for, it's often easier to just reference something that you find on the web or maybe an existing app that you've got. Okay, so the first part is again a little bit more subjective, but I just tend to find that multimodality factors even more into the vibe design experience.